We know that if you think long and hard about it. So I have kids in my groups that are living at home and not working who are 28 years old. One or older. One kid came back to visit me, and he was bartending, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. And he was like, oh, what's going on with your parents? Oh, they're such a pain, my mother's still on me, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're living at home. And he's talking on and on. In a way, I could have closed my eyes, and he's 38 years old.
Wow.
Now, we could wonder why this kid didn't launch, but the bigger question is, what did they do to create this level of dependency? So most of the stuff we're talking about is going to make you unpopular initially, but will gain you respect down the road. So you can't be a good parent and be popular all the time. And parents confuse limits with punishments. They're not punishments. That's the way you prepare your child for the world. I had one group where I ran, there was this kid, Derek, his parents didn't go to parent-teacher conferences, they didn't check his homework, they didn't really care if he passed or failed, and he was out all night, and he would come to the group and tell these adventures he had. And the kids were just like, oh, it was like Pinocchio on Pleasure Island or something. It was like, and one day Derek wasn't there, and they started talking about, oh, Derek's leading the life, oh, Derek's got it made. And I said to them, well, what if I give you the same deal? I'll talk to your parents, and they'll give you all the freedoms Derek had. What? No, they're arguing. I say, I'm a therapist, I'm very crafty. I can convince parents that it's good for you. And they said, no, that's not gonna happen. I said, why not? One girl said, my mother would never do that. I said, why not? She said, because she loves me. So they got the message, they got the message. So all these things you're doing, I don't think, did your parents lay awake at night thinking, oh, what's your name?
Lucia.
Do you think your dad or mom was like, I hope Lucia isn't mad at me?
Oh, yeah, no.
I hope she's not, I hope she's not upset with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no.
So parenting is about leadership, ultimately, and it's about management. The story I like to tell is I don't have coffee anymore. It's another workshop. But you just go to these two coffee shops. They're identical products, identical, same size. And one was Joe's. I'd go to Joe's, and everyone was like, I knew most people there. Their band was playing. They had a flyer, and someone was in college, and it was this playful atmosphere. And then I went to the other place. It was just miserable. Everyone was miserable. And one day, a new worker was there, and I came in, and she was like, "Good morning," and I was like, "Wow, let's see how long she lasts." And she was miserable soon because the manager was miserable. So really, same product, same everything. It's just like that in families. We're dealing with the same thing. So how those two shops were managed produced completely different outcomes among the employees. Yeah.
But I find that even between different kids, like the management might be the same, but sometimes
you have to be different
that happens too. So
some kids you got to rein in more, some kids you got to push more.
Right,
yeah,
right.
You're a different parent with every child.
Okay.
And if you have siblings, they have different memories of your parents.
Yeah.
Different experiences of a lot of things growing up with your siblings. Things they say happen, you're like, no, that never happened.
I know.
How did you miss that?
I just wrote something that's going to be published, and I'm like, my brothers are going to kill me because they don't remember these things.
It also feels parenting feels like just so overwhelming, right? Because it's like you feel like you have to be this great therapist, and like you feel like you have to be this great disciplinarian, and you have to be like this. And I know, like
motivation,
right? Like I guess so. It's kind of like, what do we, it is overwhelming. But I guess one thing that we're kind of trying to hone in on is discipline now. Like it's different. Like how. I know there's a difference. So you said difference between punishing and did you say? Limits, right. So, like, what would be, so punishing would be like taking something away? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
Punishing comes out of anger and
Okay.
revenge.
So we should not punish?
I never use the word discipline or punishment.
You don't?
No. It's a top-down
Wow.
paradigm. It's a criminal mentality. I don't think it's going to work, ultimately. You'll win the battle and lose the war.
Wow, okay.
We're talking about teenagers.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about little kids. Little kids need more, but
Right.
yeah.
See, that's interesting because then there's also different philosophies. Like, yeah, so like kind of figuring all of that out it's challenging.
Yeah, well, if you're a parent, particularly a parent of a teenager, and you're saying it's easy, you're probably a terrible parent. Because this is hard work. And it challenges you. Look, there's a great divide, right? Between parents and non-parents. Have you noticed it? It's like, well, you know, so when you become, they give you suggestions. That's great.
Yeah.
If you want an enemy for life, criticize someone's child or their parent.
So true.
You're like,
So parenting really challenges you. Whatever, all right, this is, you can't tell anyone this, okay? Whatever problems you have with other adults, you will have with your children. If you're a controlling person, you will be controlling your children. If you can't stop talking, you're like a blabbermouth, you will be a blabbermouth with your children. So parenting really challenges you to mature these gaps in yourself, which is why parents have, I say all these things I shouldn't say, but parents, to me, have a much higher level of compassion. They know suffering. They know struggle. And I have a friend who's a great friend, lives alone, isn't married, doesn't have children, has 2 cats that he talks about incessantly, works from home, and he says to me, we want to get together for lunch. He goes, no, I need some more me time. And I was like, your whole life is me time. You know, so, you know, I can name 3 things yesterday that I did not plan for, that I had to restructure my whole day. Did not plan for my daughter not to want to go to school. Did not plan for her running late. Call the principal, by the way. You can use everyone you got. The more people outside the orbit of the family who have influence over your child, the better. So I sent a text. Don't tell my daughter, okay? I sent a text to guidance counselor I know, and I said, you know, she's late to school again. Please hold her accountable. And she said back, we'll have a meeting with her as soon as she arrives. You know, so that's now her problem.
yeah.
I don't have to worry about that anymore. Yes.
But isn't that controlling?
That's not controlling.
Like, well, because, so it's not, where is it? Like, that sort of
Look at
feels
these
like.
notes.
I'm sorry, like, doesn't it feel like, that feels like you're being involved when, like, you're supposed to let them make mistakes and let them.
But he is.
He is.
She's
He's
getting.
onus
I'm
on
not
her.
punishing her.
She's
No,
having the
punishment on her.
repercussion of it when she gets to school.
But he's
putting
making
onus
the
on her.
replication happen.
Well, because it needs to happen, so it doesn't happen.
But if without him doing that, that child would not have received that consequence.
Eventually the school probably would
But
talk to
I
her. She's
know,
just making it sooner.
I know the way her school operates, and they're not going to punish her.
Right.
They're going to have a meeting with her to talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's going to be more effective than like, from now on, blah, 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 blah. You know, and she does have detention, but there's a part of a kid when they do something wrong, deep down, they kind of want to be punished.
I believe
You know,
that's
they
true.
they want to be punished.
They like
You know,
boundaries.
so she comes home one day and says like, oh, I had to vacuum all these classrooms after school. And she's like telling me, and I'm like, cool. That's good. You know, but it's it's a fine line.
Yeah.
We're only motivated by what works.
Okay.
Everyone's household is different, so I may give some advice that would be terrible for your place, but at your house fits like a glove.
Right.
So parenting isn't one size fits all.
Right.
The express lane is really working on yourself and managing your own feelings and making choices that model the kind of choices you want your kids to make.
Yeah.
And creating, you know, family meetings. To me, a family meeting was my father talking for 45 minutes about everything we did wrong. And I always hated them. But when I started having them with my kids, or recommending them, something really interesting happened. Like the kids started looking forward to the family meeting. If there was a conflict, they would say, "Look, we're going to talk about this on Sunday. You're in big trouble. I'm telling Mama, you curse." So the problem is that we try to resolve conflicts in the heat of the conflict. We're running late, and now I'm going to give you a lecture how you're not responsible. Sorry.